Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. We're going to take a quick look at KuCoin, and just before we do, we'll look at Bitcoin as well, so you kind of understand what's going on in the market. Bitcoin does look pretty weak right now. It looks like it's preparing to sell off just based on really low volume of the last 72 hours. Ultimately, not the best scenario here for Bitcoin. Yes, we had that pump yesterday, but that could have been a dead cat. We might see it drop a little bit lower. I'm expecting 60 to 63,000 range, but we'll see here soon. I hope I'm wrong, but good news is we got the 200-day simple moving average kind of working here as a potential support, so that may likely be able to help us out there. We'll see soon, of course, but it's typical for Mondays to be red days anyway, so just be ready for that in the future. And just before we look at KuCoin here, I want you to know I'm not a financial advisor. This is for educational purposes only, but note that I love trading and I love helping people become better traders. Right? That's why I designed and created this trading community for that specific reason, to help you become a better trader. So check out my Patreon community. It's a really awesome experience where I share signals for every single trade that I take, and we all are learning and growing together. It's an amazing dynamic environment, and a lot of us actually are KuCoin holders too. So that's the reason why I'm making this, is for my community members. So check that out in your own time. Now, looking at the 1-day chart first, we're going to just go ahead and work our way down. We can see that big spike yesterday occurred all the way up to about 52 cents, which is quite significant. I was expecting right around 45. But again, KuCoin will surprise you. It definitely did here recently, and it did again here yesterday. But good news is it's working within the Fibonacci retracement lines, right? So it barely broke above that and got retraced back down pretty heavy. And this whole retracement occurred before the actual sell-off from Bitcoin today. So just be mindful of that. The price could decrease. We'll look at smaller time frames here as well, but KuCoin doesn't seem to be majorly or adversely impacted. But every single coin in the market will be, inadvertently altered if Bitcoin drops, right? So again, just got to be prepared for that. But good news is KuCoin's still above the 70 on the RSI, or back above, you could say. It's still holding that position, which is good, basically implying that we still have bullish momentum. Well, there we go. You can see that right there. That is where the sell-off did occur here earlier today. So good news there, in the sense that we have a nice green candle here. KuCoin's trying to hold on, but it's kind of consolidating right around 45 cents, which is ultimately where I expected the price to kind of finish yesterday. So hopefully some of you took some profits closer to the 48 and 50 cent range, because obviously, anything over 45 was overextended. That's what we saw on quite a few indications, right? So let's take a look at that really quick. You can see we were at basically a 7 from before we got a reset. But on the 1 hour candlestick, I know we're like an extreme overtime. So simply put, KuCoin's still in good shape here, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bit more of a retracement, just based on the fact that Bitcoin does look like it's trying to break 64,000. But all in all, again, we got some good, strong, bullish momentum here for KuCoin. I don't foresee it selling off majorly. If it were to sell down, it would probably come down to its next major support level, right at about 40 cents. So I do feel like 40 cents would be probably the absolute bottom in the near future. And that's just, again, for KuCoin. Looking at the 4-hour chart, though, we got the 50-day simple moving average working its way up. That could intersect with the 40-cent range as well here soon, too. So right as soon as the price decreases, if it were to, we'd get that to hold the price up. So again, good indication there. In that sense, I would recommend maybe setting an alert for somewhere in the range of about 43, 42 cents. That way you get kind of notified when the price comes down a little bit lower. Actually, we'll do 42. I feel more comfortable with that. And take another look here soon. But me personally, my strategy is typically always to buy the dip closest to the next major support level. And the best support level you could have is a previous all-time high, right? That's why 40 cents is a pretty strong scenario there. So if you're going to add to your position, closer to 40, the better. But even right now at 45 isn't terrible. I just feel like we could get better value because Bitcoin's probably going to continue to drop. In fact, I see it's dropped about 300 since we started recording this video here. Regardless, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the 1 hour chart. We are still above the cloud, but we might break into and or drop below the cloud. So keep that in mind. If it comes down to 40 cents, we'd be under the cloud. That's not considered a buy signal. It's basically considered a sell signal, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to sell, right? It just means that you may not want to take entry for a little while until the price levels out. And what happens with the cloud, it'll inevitably come back down, or actually probably be a little sharper to come down here. So if the price were to come over and we're back above the cloud right here, that'd be a perfect case in point. That'd be roughly this time tomorrow. Okay, that's kind of what we're looking at there for the 1 hour charts. Let's take a quick look at TD sequential. And this is what I wanted to kind of identify or show you here. This is why I said 45 cents was probably the likely and highest point, because you can see 45 cents is right here. and we had a 9 about 5 hours before that. So somehow KuCoin was able to go a full 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 candlesticks into overtime. So there's no excuse as to why the price came all the way back down, right? Because it got overextended. So it's really common for us to have like a, just say this is a 100% increase in this little time frame. It almost always comes down about 60% when you have that overextension. So again, not bad. Had you taken profits at 45, 48, 52, you would have still been in good shape, right? So still all good stuff here. I'm confident that the price will probably continue down a little bit further just because we have a 6 right here. And yes, even though we're getting a reset, Bitcoin does appear to be kind of, again, trending closer to 64. So if the bottom drops out of Bitcoin, you can expect KuCoin to drop closer to 40 cents. So just a precaution there, heads up. You don't necessarily have to sell your whole position. Maybe consider trimming or taking your profits because 45 cents is a very good profit range. That would be a profit target for me had I taken entry somewhere in the 20 to 30 cent range. So generally speaking, you're not in bad position. And I would say best case scenario, the price will probably come up and consolidate somewhere in this range between 45 and 48. I don't foresee KuCoin shooting past 52 cents anytime soon because it needs a little bit of time to consolidate because that was a massive increase here recently, right? So again, just a bunch of little things to kind of consider. I mean, KuCoin's still in good shape. I think long term, this is definitely a good coin to use or to invest in. But on the inverse there, I think the short term, we have more bearish divergence in the short term, but long term is more obviously bullish. So to me, big picture, long term investment, absolutely correct. Definitely a good consideration, but on the short term here, we want to be cautious and careful, and I would consider taking profits while you still can. Now, best case scenario here, just to let you know, within the next week or two, we could see 65 cents. That would be a better case scenario. Say Bitcoin doesn't go much lower than where it's at right now. It goes sideways and just continues to eke up. Then we will see KuCoin surge to about 64, 65 cents in the next couple weeks. I think that's very likely. It's definitely got the big picture here for that. So you can see it's still making higher highs and higher lows, right? This low is yet to be seen, but it is still making higher highs and higher lows, no matter how you look at it. So that's a very good sign to be able to see that, because I think, again, big picture, this is definitely a good coin. So just something to consider. And hopefully if you found benefit here today, you could like and subscribe. Consider joining my Patreon community because we got a really awesome group of folks there. And quick heads up too, the rates are increasing next month, so it'd be awesome and maybe advantageous to consider locking in your rates this month and see if you find benefit there, of course. Everyone, well, not everyone, but of course about 90% of people that subscribe end up staying because they find extreme benefit. So again, check that out. I have a descriptive video somewhere around here. You've probably seen that as well. CryptoCache Premium, check that out in your own time. Thank you so much for joining me here, though. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.